Omoa says, Luke, would you teach us some tongue twisters? There are a lot of tongue twisters. I've got a gigantic list of tongue twisters, but we'll just talk about two. One of them I've practiced, the other one not really. But what is a tongue twister and why should you or should you not practice it? A tongue twister is something that's written specifically to be difficult to say, and we often give them to children to practice because it helps them with their speaking skills to develop the muscle memory that they need to speak naturally, to sound more natural. It's a great tool to practice pronunciation. Work on the muscle memory, the mouth and how it moves, what you should do with it, because you try to say them quickly. But the important thing is to say correctly, then quickly, not quickly and just quickly. Very important that it's correct first, then you speed it up. Like playing the piano. Piano teacher tells you, play slowly first, master it, and then slowly increase in speed. I will tell you the same thing. Go slowly first, master it, then slowly increase in speed. Okay? So let's try two kind of longer ones. And again, there are a bunch. You could probably just search list of tongue twisters on Google or on the internet somewhere and find a pretty good list. So this is the one I have not practiced. Let's try this one. Okay. Something in a 30-acre thermal thicket of thorns and thistles thumped and thundered, threatening the 3D thoughts of Matthew the Thug, although theatrically it was only the 13,000 thistles and thorns through the underneath of his thigh that the 30-year-old thug thought of that morning. I'm not sure if that makes total sense, honestly. This is from the internet. I didn't write this myself. I'm not advocating that you learn any specific ones. Usually, though, a tongue twister will be useful not for its meaning. It's kind of irrelevant. It's not the point at all, but for the sounds that you have to do and practice quickly, right? So this one is obviously focusing on the S sound and the TH sound. And we're going to look at one after this that focuses on something slightly different, okay? So let me try this a little faster. Something in a 30-acre thermal thicket of thorns and thistles thumped and thundered, threatening the 3D thoughts of Matthew the Thug, although theatrically it was only the 13,000 thistles and thorns through the underneath of his thigh that the 30-year-old thug thought of that morning. Okay. And if we keep practicing it, it can get faster and faster. That one's okay. The classic ones are Peter Piper picked a peck of pickled peppers. If Peter Piper picked a peck of pickled peppers, how many pickled peppers did Peter Piper pick? Peter Piper picked a peck of pickled peppers. Peter Piper picked a peck of pickled peppers. You got to practice that again and again. Peter Piper picked a peck of pickled peppers. If Peter Piper picked a peck of pickled peppers, how many pickled peppers did Peter Piper pick? How many pickled peppers did Peter Piper pick? How many pickled pepper? How many? I'm not following my own rules. How many pickled peppers did Peter Piper pick? Peter Piper picked a peck of pickled peppers. A peck of pickled peppers Peter Piper picked. If Peter Piper picked a peck of pickled peppers, how many pickled peppers did Peter Piper pick? Okay, got it. Perfect. Nailed it. Yes. And then there's the other one. She sells seashells by the seashore. 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 Good to practice the SSH sound. And then the other one that's classic is, I don't even know if it's a tongue twister. It's kind of a poem. The poem goes, how does it go? How much wood could a woodchuck chuck if a woodchuck could chuck wood? How much wood could a woodchuck chuck if a woodchuck could chuck wood? How much wood could a woodchuck chuck if a woodchuck could chuck wood? My dad made a sort of nonsense poem that I memorized when I was a little kid. It's unique to him. And it's not really a tongue twister, but it helped me with, I think, my language skills as a kid because I memorized it and practiced it over and over. It goes, Zing zing omnibright imio kipperkite, slept the patty head with tabloid sleppers, and he and she did nubber to it, poundo natters up the ziffle. It makes no sense. It's total nonsense. And you practice it, and sort of a thing that me and my brothers used to practice that my dad made up. Zing zing omni bright emio kipper slept the patty head with tabloid sleppers, and he and she did number to it, poundo natters up the ziffle. Okay, let's try this one. I'm just going to try this one. I've practiced this one a little bit in the past, so we'll see how this goes. Through 3 cheese trees, 3 free fleas flew. While these fleas flew, let's go a little slower the first time, and then I'll do it again. Through 3 cheese trees, 3 free fleas flew. While these fleas flew, freezy breeze blew. Freezy breeze made these 3 trees freeze. Freezy trees made these trees cheese freeze. That's what made these 3 free fleas sneeze. My God, this one is tough. This one's so hard. Let's increase the speed slightly. Through 3 cheese trees, let me try that again. Through 3 cheese trees, 3 free fleas flew. While these fleas flew, freezy breeze blew. Freezy breeze made these 3 trees freeze. Freezy trees made these trees cheese freeze. That's what made these 3 free fleas sneeze. Oh man, that's a tough one. That is a tough one. So if you want, you can practice tongue twisters. It is not a bad way to work on the muscle memory connected to the English language. Being able to speak means not having to think about pronunciation. You shouldn't be thinking about pronunciation. It has to be all muscle memory. And tongue twisters are a great way to develop that muscle memory. Okay, so it's a good question. Thank you, Omoa. If you guys haven't already done so, don't forget to hit the like button. Don't forget to subscribe, and also check out my full courses on sale in the links in the description.